The clearing still hums with a fading echo of battle, when the slow, measured sound of clapping cuts through the silence. Viscount Calor steps from the tree line. His cloak is untouched by dirt or blood. The faint silver of his mask catches the dying firelight. Pale eyes sweep the camp, lingering briefly on the fallen ashes where the orc once stood. "Impressive," he says, each clap deliberate. "If I hadn't seen it myself, I wouldn't have believed it. For a group supposedly green, you performed rather well." Kale exhales, still leaning on his scimitar, sweat streaks down his jaw. Hazel's ears twitch toward the sound. But another noise steals her attention, a low snort from a nearby cage. She turns, spotting a massive pig penned in the shadows of a supply tent, its bristled hide smudged with soot. The creature grunts again, terrified. Hazel doesn't hesitate. She brushes ash from her sleeves and strides towards it.
"Oh, you poor thing,"
she murmurs, unhooking the latch.
"Come on, let's get you out of there."
The pig gives a hopeful oink, snuffling at her sleeve. Hazel smiles faintly, already deciding that whatever strange echo crystal Calor is fussing over can be someone else's problem. Simone lowers her bow and turns to Calor.
"So,"
she says evenly.
"I assume we passed?"
"With flying colors," Calor replies smoothly, slipping a pair of velvet gloves from his pocket. "Now, if you'll excuse me..." He steps across the scorched earth with eerie calm, kneels, then lifts the glowing gemstone between gloved fingers. The crystal pulses once in his grasp. The violet light dims, faintly, almost as if it recognizes him. Simone watches closely. Before she can question it, her attention shifts to Kale and Orin. Both still wear the marks of the orc's fury, torn armor, bloodied sleeves. She pulls 2 small vials from her belt pouch.
"Here.
She says, pressing one into each of their hands.
You look like you need these more than I do."
Kale accepts his with a grin, though it's more grimace than smile. Orin simply nods in quiet thanks before uncorking the potion and drinking it down. Simone glances back toward Calor. The gemstone's fading glow reflects faintly in her eyes.
"So, what exactly is that thing?"
"I intend to find out," Calor answers without missing a beat. His tone is smooth, practiced. "Though, if I were to speculate, I'd say it's connected to how this outpost was constructed so quickly." The explanation comes easily. Too easily. But no one challenges him. The faint hum of the crystal fills the space where doubt might have settled. Kale wipes his mouth and lets out a dry chuckle.
"I just hope we get paid well for this."
Simone pats his shoulder, offering a tired smile.
"Don't worry, drinks are on me tonight."
Calor turns back towards them, the gemstone now tucked neatly into a satchel at his side. "I'll wait for you at the southern entrance," he says. "Once you've finished looting, or whatever it is adventurers do after such work, I'll teleport you all back to Highwatch Haven." A curt nod, almost approving. Then he strides toward the edge of the clearing. Simone surveys the wreckage, the quiet, the smoke still curling lazily into the night. Her gaze lands on Hazel, coaxing the enormous pig out of its cage.
"Hazel,
Simone begins, incredulous.
really?"
Hazel looks up, one hand still scratching behind the pig's ear.
"What? I'm not leaving it here."
The pig gives a triumphant oink, pressing against her side as if in agreement. Simone exhales, half laugh, half surrender.
"Fine. Just don't let it sleep in my room."
The clearing has gone eerily still. Only the faint hiss of dying embers and the wind sighing through the northern pines remain. The sharp scent of smoke and scorched wood hangs heavy in the air as the group fans out across the ruined goblin outpost, each drawn to a different corner of the wreckage. Orin moves first, methodical, precise. The soft clink of his armor is muted by ash beneath his boots. He kneels beside a half-collapsed tent, sweeping aside a torn bedroll and the splintered remains of a crude wooden chest. Inside, a handful of battered coins, a chipped dagger, and a small idol carved from bone. The crude visage of some goblin god, fanged and sneering. He studies it for a moment, then lets it fall back into the dirt with a dull thud. Across the camp, Kale kicks over a shattered crate. A few scattered coins roll free, clinking against stone. He corrals them lazily with the toe of his boot before scooping them into a pouch. His hand brushes something cool. A stoppered clay flask, a faint rune pressed into the wax seal. He turns it over, squinting.
Potion.
He mutters.
Wonder what kind.
A bit more digging reveals a single leather bracer buried beneath splintered boards. The hide is reinforced, etched with faint storm symbols curling along the edge. Kale turns it in his hands, a faint smile tugging at his mouth.
Huh, guess it's got good taste.
A few paces away, Simone crouches near the blackened remains of the shack. Her sharp eyes catch what others might miss. A patch of dirt slightly darker than the rest. Too smooth. Too deliberate. She brushes aside the ash. A hidden lockbox emerges, half buried beneath a warped plank. It takes only a few careful moments to pry it open. Inside, neat stacks of coins, 2 glimmering garnets catching the light, and a sealed scroll case resting atop them. Its wax stamped with the insignia of a long-forgotten scribes guild. Simone exhales softly.
Looks like someone was saving for retirement.
She pockets the valuables with efficient grace. Then something else draws her attention. The faint glint of engraved runes from the wreckage of a fallen weapon rack. She pulls free a finely crafted short bow. The limbs are reinforced with etched sigils that shimmer faintly when her fingers brush them. She turns it once in her hands.
Well, hello, beautiful.
She glances over her shoulder toward Orin and Kale.
Guess this makes up for the arrows I wasted.
As she continues searching, she uncovers a stack of strange papers tucked beneath a scorched crate. Goblin blueprints, crude in execution, but unsettlingly advanced. The designs repeat structured patterns she's only ever seen in human fortifications. Her brow furrows. Without comment, she folds them carefully and tucks them away. Hazel, meanwhile, is only half invested in the treasure. Her attention belongs entirely to her new pig companion, who happily noses through a broken supply cart. Still, her sharp eyes miss nothing. Beneath the wreckage, she spots half-eaten provisions, a flask of oil, and a small pouch that clinks when lifted. She weighs it once in her palm, then tosses it lazily towards Kale.
Here, you like shiny things.
Kale catches it easily.
You're not wrong.
By the time the search ends, the camp has been stripped of anything worth taking. Orin stands at the edge of the clearing, the morning breeze cooling the blood drying on his sleeve. Kale cinches his pack closed, heavier now, by a few coins, and a mysterious flask he fully intends to experiment with later. Simone tests the tension of her new bowstring, listening to the faint hum beneath it. Hazel hums softly to the pig, who snorts contentedly at her boots. For a long moment, the four simply breathe. The sharp edge of battle softens in the quiet reflection. Then, from the distance, the faint crunch of boots on gravel. Calor, waiting near the southern gate, ready to return them to Highwatch Haven. They exchange a look, the kind born only of shared danger. Kale shoulders his pack with a grunt.
If this is what being a wayfarer is like, we're either going to get rich or killed fast,
he says. Simone smirks, the runes of her new bow catching the light.
Hopefully in that order.
They gather their things. The forest wind carries away the last traces of smoke, leaving only silence. The faint hum of the Echo gemstone gone with Calor, and the quiet beginning of something far larger than any of them yet realize.
At the edge of nowhere, shadows twist where the brave press on. Old cathedrals hide secrets they can't share, but we charge through the dark till the fear is gone. Light it up, we're the ones who keep on rising. Turn a frightened village into songs we sing, chasing sparks across the dark horizon.